So some more free agency news around the NFL and the crazy March that it is that New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has found a new home. He let it be known on social media this morning that he no longer was going to be a part of the Patriots organization, and he will be playing his final year or two somewhere else. And that magical team that he went to was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I gotta be honest with you, the Buccaneers were kind of the team I was rooting for him to go to, just because I thought that the Buccaneers he would look the weirdest in a Buccaneer uniform. You know, if he went to like the Colts or the Chargers, I feel like that is kind of imaginable, but he's just gonna look so weird with that Tampa Bay flag on him and the Tampa Bay uniform, but that's just me. But anyway, it's very interesting. I mean, and this isn't something that the Patriots said, look, we want to move on from you. We want to go to another quarterback. Robert Kraft, their owner, actually said that they wanted him back, but he didn't actually want to come back to the Patriots. And it kind of reminded me of a situation kind of like former Jaguars running back, or former Jaguars fullback Greg Jones and former Jaguars running back Maurice Jones-Drew, in that both of them kind of played 1 year somewhere else. Greg Jones went to the Texans, Maurice Jones-Drew went to the Raiders, and sometimes these players, when they play their whole career somewhere, they just want to see what it's like somewhere else. And especially for a guy like Tom Brady, this is a guy that's had the same head coach all of his 20 years while playing for the Patriots, and maybe he just wants to see it somewhere else. You know, he wants to bring his magic somewhere else. He wants to see if he can bring his leadership to a new team. Obviously, the Buccaneers have a lot of weapons, whether it be a wide receiver with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, who both had over 1,000 receiving yards this year, and they also have really good tight ends in O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. So they have a lot of good stuff going on over there, you know, for their team, especially offensively. They got a really high-powered offense. And Bruce Arians has worked great with quarterbacks, whether they're good quarterbacks or bad quarterbacks. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jameis Winston. With Jameis Winston, I mean, obviously, you know, he was a guy that was, he was a definition of a gunslinger. But I think the thing with him is, like, while he threw a lot of, passing yards, a lot of touchdowns, I mean, he was one of those guys that's a fantasy god. But at the end of the day, he just didn't progress very well, especially when it comes to the mistakes that he made. I mean, he threw 30 interceptions last year. And, you know, I remember just dating back to when the Buccaneers were on Hard Knocks in 2017, is that he just is always making mistakes. He's always throwing the ball in harm's way. You know, he has those Jameis Winston moments that can be comical at times, and all his squinting and stuff, but, you know, he's going to move on somewhere else. So, you know, because, he's not going to be signing to be a backup there, I wouldn't think. And, you know, at that time, when you give up on your franchise quarterback, or when you give up on your first overall pick quarterback, first round quarterback, and you sign a new guy, generally those guys are going to go elsewhere. Now, he's going to sign a deal that's roughly $30 million. And I think it might be a 2-year deal. It's like all it said was like $30 million annually. So I would think it might be a 2-year deal. And right now with the Patriots, all they have right there is Jarrett Stidham. So you would think that they're going to look out and try to acquire a quarterback, whether it be via trade or, free agency. There's been some, quarterbacks signed today, such as like Teddy Bridgewater going over to the Panthers, and and Phillip Rivers going to the Colts. So really all that's left is that, they could make a trade for Cam Newton. They could make a trade for Derek Carr. Maybe they go out there and try to sign Jameis Winston. There's also Andy Dalton that they could trade for. And also, hopefully they try to grab Nick Foles. So, the Patriots, they're going to have to make a decision at quarterback, because there's no way they would feel comfortable probably with Jarrett Stidham out there starting. But it's an interesting situation with this. I'm going to be fascinated by the Buccaneers. I'll honestly probably pull for the Buccaneers. I've never really had anything against Tom Brady. I've more just been tired of the dynasty, because I'm not big on teams like Alabama and Patriots that just go around and win every year. And, I'm a fan of greatness, and, Tom Brady, he's the best quarterback I've seen. So I would love him to kind of solidify that, out there for the Buccaneers, and, maybe see some success out there. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be fascinating, if you're watching both the Buccaneers and the Patriots and see what they do. So that's all I got for this video. I just wanted to touch on that, give you guys my thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video.